Hi, third graders. Miss Thorns here. Today, we will be learning about students will learn how air pressure affects weather. Students will learn how air pressure is used to forecast weather. Our success criteria, students will watch the video and you know you have it when they are successful on the quiz. Forecasting weather by tracking air pressure systems. Meteorology. Meteorology is the study of the Earth's atmosphere. Scientists who study the atmosphere are called meteorologists. By studying the Earth's atmosphere, meteorologists are able to predict what the weather will be like. However, there are a lot of variables that go into predicting the weather. For this reason, the predictions are always not 100% accurate. Meteorologists measure and study many different aspects of the Earth's atmosphere in order to forecast the weather. They study high and low pressure systems and the boundaries between them, called weather fronts. We describe these in more detail in our slideshow. High and low pressure systems. High and low. Knowing areas of high and low pressure is important to predict the weather because the differences in air pressure cause wind to form. High pressure systems. A high pressure system generally means good weather because it attracts cool and dry air. On the weather map, a high pressure system is known by a blue H. Low pressure systems are generally means rainy or cold weather. This becomes low pressure systems generally attract warm and moist air. On weather maps, you can see the capital red L. What do you see here? These are called weather front symbols. Weather front symbols, number 1 means a cold front, number 2 means a warm front, number 3 means a stationary front, and number 5 means a occluded front. Weather fronts, the boundaries between high and low pressure systems, is called a weather front. It is where the two different air masses of air meet and most of the time form storms. Cold front is a front where cold air mass is replacing warm air mass. When a cold front passes through, the temperature will drop. Cold fronts can cause a narrow line of storms and cause the weather to change rapidly. Warm fronts are fronts where warm air mass is replaced by cold air mass. Warm fronts tend to move more slowly than cold fronts. They often bring rain and clouds. A stationary front is a front that stays in one place for a long period of time. Stationary fronts can bring long periods of rain. An occluded front is a front that occurs when cold air mass takes over a warm air mass. A dry line is a boundary separating a dry air mass from a warm air mass. There can be large differences between the temperature and the dew points on each side of the dry line. Here are some different weather tools: an anemometer, a wind weather vane, a rain gauge, a thermometer, and a barometer. These are all tools that we use to measure meteorological weather conditions. Some of the tools that meteorologists use are the Doppler radar, which is a special kind of radar that can determine the rate of precipitation like rain, hail, or snow, as well as wind speed direction. This can help the meteorologist in providing when severe storm warnings need to come out. Satellites. Satellites can be used to see cloud formations over large areas of the Earth. A rain gauge is a tool that we measure the amount of rainfall. An anemometer measures the speed of wind, and a barometer measures the air pressure and whether it's rising or falling. Computer models weathering forecasts use computers to model weather using the variation of instruments gathered. This is a great lesson in our weather tools that you have learned with your classroom teacher. And I hope that you have reviewed the video. And if you need to watch it again, go back and watch it again and do fantastic on your quiz.